Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Feliz Navidad, and Happy Hanukkah, and everything else to everybody out there from the Banters. Brought to you by Berserk Athletics for your custom uniform needs. Hobbs, my man, welcome back.
Thank you, sir. Always a
Man, are you
pleasure.
ready for the holidays?
I am. I think we've bought too much stuff. Obviously, I'm
Yeah,
officially broke as a joke. So,
yep,
I check my bank account and I see like $7. So,
yeah,
we're set pretty good.
yeah.
Uh,
That's about where I'm at. So
right? And it's
you know,
nonstop. You know how it is goes, man, dude. It's like the minute you're off work, like right then, it's like, all right, you
yeah,
take a deep breath and then it's go. Christmas
yeah,
here.
yeah.
This, and you're like, all right, and it's next thing you know, it's 2024.
Man, that's
So,
how it goes, man. I know. I don't know about you. I'm not a. I know the how would you say the stereotype of men
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
is to be last minute shoppers.
yeah, yeah,
I have finally overcome that about
yeah,
I don't know when I met my wife,
right,
and now I'm done early, and now it is just tired of sitting on them. Just want to hurry up and give them to the
oh
kids
yeah,
and let
right,
it
yeah,
be.
because that's how I am. I used to be, and obviously, I used to be, buy the family stuff, and then buy me stuff as a
Yeah,
bachelor, and then
yeah,
after meeting the wife, it turned into okay. This is now we got to get a little more thought into this. This is going to have to get a little
yeah,
more clever, and it's fun to be that way, like trying to hide stuff and like trying to subtly like make sure you get the stuff they want, but then also kind of throw in
yes,
something kind of creative. But yeah, getting it
yeah.
out of the way and not and obviously I am not a present wrapper
No,
by
neither
any
am
means.
I.
Yeah, I'm if you tell me to wrap a present, I am going to hand you the present.
Yeah, that's.
So,
I used to do that, be that way. I
yep.
think one year when I was in my bachelor days, I thought I'd be funny with it, and used to take the old newspaper. And I'm
Oh
sure a lot
yeah.
of kids don't know what the newspaper is nowadays. And I would wrap people's gifts up in the comic pages and the sport pages and the front
Heck
pages,
yeah.
and instead
Yep.
of put the tag on and writing their names all pretty, I take a black Sharpie, man, and just to you from me.
Right. Yep. Here.
Simple, easy, man.
Yeah, you're gonna tear this apart anyway. So, dude, I always laugh at my
Yeah,
mom because so like every year for I mean it's not as much now, but that there was that stretch there where like my niece and nephew were little. They're all grown up now, but like she literally, I'm pretty sure for about a good stretch of maybe 15 years, every one of us
yeah,
got the exact same Christmas bag with a different name on it.
yeah,
Like each year she's like, save them bags. And then that one fucking Santa Claus bag, I'm pretty
yeah,
sure everybody got it at least 8 times.
yeah. That's about how it goes, man. My late stepmom, she used to love to keep the bows on if you
Oh yeah.
smash the bowls into the world.
Yeah. It was your ass. You're like, probably like, give me back that present. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah, that. But man, couldn't start the show or have the show without talking a little sports.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Hell yeah. It's been a week again, man.
fuck we. I tell you what, I'll say this: fuck them Dodgers.
Man,
Let's see,
I, those
Yamamoto,
guys.
or 12 years, 325 million.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
him and Shohei, the Dodgers are forking out over $1 billion on the payroll.
Yeah. Don't get
What do you
hurt.
think when you saw that?
Uh, I mean, it must be nice to spend that money. My first thought process now is, I kind of hope they don't even make the playoffs. I mean, part of me wants to be like, you guys, I hope you get beat in the wild card if you make it. But
Yeah,
man, to shell it out and then trade for Glass now when he's healthy. Glass now's a freak. He throws nasty shit. So, I mean, then Walker Bueller coming back too. So
yeah,
if Bueller can stay healthy and they can do that, you like I said, you're still missing Shohei. at least on the mound for another year. But man, they went after that rotation, man. I mean, if this last year is what was hurting them, and now I just read, I don't know if you've seen it yet, Emmanuel Clace, they're trying to score Emmanuel Clace too. I mean, if I'll tell you what it did. So if you're the Yankees or
Yep.
any other team who was trying to make some kind of splash, it's over. Like Dodgers already said, here's free agency. We won it. Fuck you. No, so now
Oh
it's
yeah.
like, and here we, hey, how about them Royals though, huh?
Hey,
Making moves,
I was,
making
I was
moves.
going to ask you about that. Look at them making some moves.
Man, and the thing there is, Renfro's, he's going to strike out a million times, but
Yeah,
he's got
but
big boy
he's so,
power. Exactly.
yeah.
He's got big boy power. If you look at any of the, I mean, I kind of want to call them, clubhouse rental guys, power
Uh
guys
huh.
that the Royals get every year. He fits that mold
Uh huh.
again. If he's healthy, you're going to strike out God knows how many times, but you're also probably going to get 35 tanks and some more experience to pass on to the young guys.
Yeah.
The more solid veterans they're around, the better it'll be.
Yeah.
All the
They did
pitching
go
moves they
grab
made.
some arms.
They made some
Grab some
decent pitching
arms
moves.
that were about what mid three ERAs, a little lower three
Yeah,
ERAs.
yeah.
Especially the ballpark like Kaufman.
Yeah, and see,
You expect them to stay around that. That's always helpful.
right?
You
You
know.
got, Lugo's got that. He's a curveballer guy. That's last year. We don't have the firepower that San Diego does, but great year for
No.
him. Will Smith. They seem to be, to me, and it's like you and me talked about last time a little bit. I said we mentioned it. To me, it seems like all roads point to one, trying to at least be competitive in a somewhat weak division,
Uh huh.
and two, this kind of maybe on the outside looking in, this kind of seems like maybe they're trying to obviously build around the youth a little bit to
Yeah.
probably extend a couple of those guys.
Yeah.
They traded out Oliveras. They got some of the young guys out of there that weren't. They gave them a little time. It wasn't working, but now, this is about the time. Extend Witt, get it done, make it happen.
You have Pasquantino coming back
Yep,
uh,
Benny P.
from injury, which is a solid bat in the lineup. You have
Yeah,
Melendez in the lineup.
yep, and
I think you kind of, to me, it's almost you make him everyday catcher.
yeah, and see,
DH Selvey.
I would like to see them be able to keep Salvi on the field, or at least hitting long enough to get his at bats, because Salvi's still,
Uh-huh.
as anyone's seen the last few years, when Salvi's healthy enough to hit, Salvi's going to hit tanks, man.
Yeah.
And it's awesome because Salvi still, Salvi will hit you 270. And
Yeah.
he's grown into a great hitter. It's just you gotta keep him healthy enough, and catching 140 games as long as Salvi's been doing it or even close
Yeah.
is too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
You don't need to be back there at all.
Our Red Sox, I don't know what they're doing.
Well, ship out your GM or whatever they did, and I just don't
I
know.
think give them another year. I think
Mm-hmm.
they may consider getting rid of Cora.
Yeah.
I think it's you try to bring him in and I think they tried to bring him back thinking he was going to revive.
Right.
And I think we underachieved. I still think the arms killing us. No pitching up and down. I think
No.
that's the big thing.
No, we don't.
Bullpen. Even
There's
if
no.
you had a good out, it got to the bullpen and it was hit or miss.
Right. We
But
don't. There's no power arms there. There's nothing. And then in the lineup is just. I mean, the potential's there, but it's still kind of soft. I mean, you got
yeah,
Raffy
you
in
would
there.
see
You
him
got
put
Raffy in
up.
there to crank, but
Watch him put up. Some games 7 runs, 6 runs, 5 runs.
yeah.
8 runs, and then see him but give up 9 runs. Then you see him
Right.
go cold
Right.
for 2 or 3 games, not get it, zero, no runs or 1 run. It's like you
Right.
can't win ball games like that, especially in the AL East when you got Baltimore coming up. Tampa's always going to be good. God, now
Yeah,
the
and you look at
Yankees are
that
spending money.
right. You look at that
It's
division just in
Toronto.
general, man. Like
Yeah,
that whole division.
it
So,
it's going to be strong from top to bottom. I
oh yeah,
think Boston is going to stay at the bottom for maybe another couple of years before they decide it's time to start doing what we need to do.
yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, I
And I
think
mean,
they have the money.
they all take their lumps. That whole division, you look at it
Yeah,
like everybody in that division. And the funny thing is, when you're in the American League East, you're a disappointment with a winning record.
yeah.
Like you finish above 500
Well,
in the East, and you're a
God, I
disappointment.
think everybody was above 500 until almost like the last couple weeks of the season.
Yeah, I mean the whole year they
And
ran the whole East.
yeah, the
So
whole East was at least, 2 games, 1 game above 500 till the last couple weeks of the season. And people, I think, kind of just start, we're not going to make the playoffs. But hell,
yep,
I think at one point in time, every team in the East, the NL East, was a potential wild card team from top to bottom.
yep. Until
It,
about
it,
August, I think every single one of them was in there.
yeah, yeah,
And you look at it
which
like
is we did like a survival pick 'em where we picked uh huh,
teams, and
uh huh,
me and the guys we worked with, and I literally picked American League East teams, and they were looking at me like a fool. So I had the Dodgers, then I had the Orioles, then I had the Red Sox, and they're
uh
like,
huh.
"Why would you take two teams in the East?" I'm like, "Because the worst record in the East is better than half the records in baseball, so I'll take it."
That is true. That is true. But yeah, man, the Dodgers spend the money, the Yankees spend the money. I'm gonna laugh when either one of them make it to the World Series because they're gonna be a team
Right?
like the Diamondbacks out there. They're gonna have another team like the Rangers out there that
Yep.
just play nitty gritty baseball and come in and say, I don't care what your payroll is. We're gonna,
Man, I
watch
think
us play.
you know who I think the Marlins are knocking on the door too, man.
They
They're
are.
they're
They got some
they're
good young
scrappy
talent.
and young. There's some
They have
talent
some
there.
good young talent coming up.
Yep.
You have God, God, anybody from the AL Central. Right now it's usually mainly Cleveland that's kind of top near. But look at the White Sox, how much they were supposed to have, and they underachieved more than anything.
That's
Then,
man. You look at that team.
but I'm telling you, Seattle Mariners,
Oh yeah.
AL West, are
Oh yeah.
young. And
Julio.
last I heard, they may go after. Well, now it's San Francisco. They talked about Blake Snell, which is an
Yep.
absolute arm. He's been tied with San Francisco as well. But the Giants are still the Giants. Don't let them. They could be one of those teams out in the NL West that will surprise you. They always seem to put it together at one point in time.
Yeah. And see, those teams are just scrappy. Like the Giants are always in there. They're always fighting a battle in there. That's a tough. They always have like some random young pitchers.
Yeah,
If you know what I mean, you're like, who's that guy? And then all of a sudden, two or three of
yeah.
them. The Mariners are right there on the cusp too, for sure. Man, Julio
I think
Rodriguez.
they just need a couple more
Whew,
arms.
yep. And
You
I
know,
think I
you
agree
got
completely. They're
Julio
right
up
there.
there, just absolutely good young talent. It- Man, it's you know, I have of course, you like me have a soft spot for the Mariners due to King Griffey. So it's
God
kind
bless
of
him.
you know, you
Oh
kind
yeah,
of always look out for them. So so
absolutely.
it was fun. It's fun to watch them in the playoffs too. Eventually, maybe they'll hoist the banner and they'll get that ring finally out there. So
They need one,
only time will tell on that one.
right? Did
But
and you think of
but
the Orioles, you look at who's on the Orioles still. If Jackson Holiday makes the lineup next year, Matt Holiday's kid, and then they have Heston Kjerstad too, or whatever,
yes,
however you say his last name, they're
yes,
loaded. That team is
they
loaded.
are. Have you seen the kid? His highlights.
Yeah, just
Jack
crushes.
Jackson Holiday absolutely. He looks like a kid straight from high school. Baby face and all. Absolutely hits tanks.
Yeah, he
Hits
mashes the ball,
lefty hitter. Sprays the ball everywhere.
right?
Just man, he
That's
is
awesome.
going to be. Yeah, just him and the Orioles have a future. Got
Oh
Allie
yeah,
Rushman,
oh
who's
yeah,
an
they're built.
absolutely stud behind the plate. Then you'll have him. God, I don't know how they cannot be contenders in the AL East for a long time. It's
Yeah, and man,
it's just
I hope they take
crazy.
the Braves formula and sign them
Uh huh.
kids for get them 6 and 7 year deals for as cheap as you can get them now, man. Just go ahead and take that risk.
Well, and I mean, the God, even when you think of the NL, you still have the Braves.
Oh yeah, who just picked up?
You know,
Who just
the grit. They
added Kellenick,
grind.
another
They know
power hitter.
how to win. It's just like they know how to win. And I'm sorry, you think the Braves are going to back down from the Dodgers? No.
No,
It,
oh no,
I, I'm I'm curious to
them
see
boys
how
match it.
this works out with the Dodgers. Of course, like everybody else, unless you're a Dodgers fan, probably absolutely hate it. Um, they think that they see the money and what they're spending, but you know, who knows? Then you have the Yankees. They're still looking for arms. They lost who they thought they were going to get, and
Yeah,
you know what else can you do? Cashman's opened up that paycheck, book and said, "Let me go see who I can get." So
I wouldn't be shocked either if he don't pull some kind of trade off, man. They've got they traded a lot of young arm. They traded potentially three aces for Soto, so they pretty much gave up their rotation future all in
yeah, which
one
was
foul swoop. So I get where they're going with it, but if Stanton can't stay on the field, if Judge can't stay healthy, if there's so many. I get what they're doing there, but there's so many ifs on that team and they have got. You've got some full blown monsters on that team,
yeah,
and when they're playing, it's scary as
yeah,
shit. But when you got two, I don't mean this. Judge might be arguably one, maybe, you
yeah,
know, has you could argue is probably the best hitter in the American League with Shohei gone now, and that's when he's on the field.
yeah,
Stanton's still as scary as anybody, but the dude's on the field for 50 games a year, so it's
yeah,
like, and I know Cashman had called him out earlier in the year, like this winter, and him and Stanton's agent had a little back and forth, and it's like, I I mean I can see I hate the Yankees so much, but I can see where Cashman's frustrated at too, man. It's like,
yeah,
but it's like, dude, when you're built like an NFL linebacker. I know you're going to get hurt, but it's also to me on the Yankees, keep his ass off don't let him in the field ever,
yeah.
and you know I don't know what they got to do, but I know that the potential's there, but
You know,
I don't see them competing. I still don't see them with the Blue Jays and the Orioles in that division and
no,
the Rays. I still see them right where they're at unless they get some, like you said, pitching. I just
they
they
I
can't
think they
hang.
try to build for offense
Oh yeah,
in that small park,
yeah,
which is great. But if you can't beat, if you have people who can put up the same amount of runs
yeah,
but have pitching,
yeah,
it's like you said. I think Statton's coming. Eventually, he's going to hit that, and he doesn't stay healthy enough to be a stay in the
no,
lineup. Judge is getting to that point where he had that great year. And he was chasing,
yeah,
the record, and then now the following year he gets hurt.
yeah.
he's never, he hasn't stayed healthy in a full year for I don't know how many years now.
No. And when he's there, he puts up just ridiculous stat line. But
Yeah,
they got to get the games out of him because when it matters, he's not there. Or
yeah,
they're never all there at when they need to be. When
yeah,
you're making that push September, you need those guys all there, and you can't be screwing around with DL. If you ain't got your bangers, you're rolling into there. It's like you said, like the Blue Jays ain't. You look at the Blue Jays, they're not scared to go in there. Bo Bichette and
yeah.
freaking Vladdy. The
Vladdy,
Orioles, like you said, Rushman, Gunnar Henderson, all those
yeah,
young kids, they don't give a shit. They're all going to the same short porch. They go to Yankee Stadium, they're like, absolutely, you
yeah,
know. And the difference is they're like, well, the good news here is if this is a slugfest, we have the pitching for this and you don't.
yeah.
So
Exactly,
once you get past
exactly.
Mr. Garrett, what do you have left? And we still have our entire, our
Yeah.
1 through
That,
5 pitchers, and you
I
have,
mean, you think about that though. Garrett Cole has had injury issues.
yeah,
Uh,
and he's a freak.
you, you know, you people forget even though he's a big bat and he's young. I mean, Soto has, he hasn't really stayed healthy. Healthy. I don't think he gave the Padres a full healthy season.
Well, and you look at the thing too with Soto is I'll never take anything away from him because he's the poster of consistency. But when
Uh
he
huh.
disappears, like dude, he falls off the earth
Yeah.
for like a stretch. It's just he gets so fucking hot when he gets back going that people forget he just goes shitty
Yeah.
for a little bit, and then yeah, health wise, you know. And then you look, some of the other guys they have, their role players are just that. Like Gleyber Torres he's solid, but he's what's he bat 220 every year?
Uh,
Yeah, I mean he's prototypical. I don't mean to say it bad, but launch angle, Oppo, taco type.
it's all or nothing.
Yeah, kind of today's major leaguer with a lot of them. My fat ass is sitting here on a bed, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna call it what it is. Like
Yeah.
he's your new you know new guy.
Now it's not launch angle. It's all exit velo.
Yeah, yeah. And what I saw that what good if you hit a ball. It's kind of like you posted about pitching earlier today, like on Facebook. So I'm sitting here, and it made me when you said that, and I think about this a lot. So I get you have your little fucking radar behind you and all your stuff, and I'm glad, and I'm so happy about everybody's personal best when they're taking BP that they hit
Uh
a
huh.
ball 113 miles an hour, and that's great. You know, that's awesome. And then they posted it on YouTube. But then when you bat fucking 199 or and you go for the platinum sombrero and the hardest ball you hit was fucking a foul ball. I
Yeah.
don't give a shit how hard you hit it. If you're not on base and you're not doing anything to help the team, what I don't care how hard you hit the ball. You
Yeah.
know, I would rather it's so crazy that they measure I get because of technology and stuff, and I get the point, but you know I still think
Analytics.
yeah they get too caught up in that. They
Yeah.
forget.
I had this conversation. I think analytics plays a big part in it. I
Yeah,
think analytics, when you see someone with velos either throwing or, hitting off a bat, but yeah, you're hitting a BP fastball 110.
right,
Okay. How are you handling the curveball?
right,
Can you stay back on a breaking ball?
yeah,
Uh, you know, like kind of like the post said, it's like, yeah, you're bringing it 90, 98, 99, off the mound. How's your breaking ball look? How
exactly,
can you hit your spots?
right.
Can you hit your spot at 99 instead of just throw 99?
And
You know,
see, all the kids that when I coached Braden's kids those last couple years, they're all of and it wasn't competitive like tournament ball like Die Hard, but even with them, like we'd get kids on the mound and they'd go out there and they would just go out there and just try to throw fucking smoke, no location. You had a couple of them that they're just hitting puberty out there
Uh-huh.
trying to throw, breaking ball after breaking ball after breaking ball. And that's great. You throw a gravity curveball on a couple guys, you get them to miss. You
Uh-huh.
hang a couple that have a little break to them, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, your technique shit. This is how you hurt your arm. Learn, do me one, and I tell all my guys, I'm like, throw a changeup and hit your
Yes.
spots. I'm
Yes.
like, these kids at this age, at the level that you guys are playing right now, are going to have hard enough time consistently hitting a changeup
Yeah.
or hitting spot pitches.
Yes.
They're in the same boat you guys are offensively. They don't know how to adjust to go and take a ball to the opposite field. They don't know how to move a runner over properly. They don't know how to stay back on a changeup. They don't know how to recognize a changeup. They don't even know how to pick up spin half the time. If you guys would just focus on that, all that other stuff, there's time to learn it. You don't have to learn it at 14. I know
Uh-huh.
everybody fast forwards it now, but I still believe that like old school's there. I mean, I know
Yeah.
they say it's a whole different ball game now, and yeah, there's technology. It's absolutely spin rate,
Yeah.
launch angle, exit velo, but the
Hey,
fundamental basis is still the same.
yeah. I
So
think technology, when used right, is great for training.
absolutely, it sees
Um,
things that we never could see with our eyes.
yeah, I think you see stuff, with Rap Soda, you get, spin, and
Yeah,
they detect spin rate, and different things as far as when you're learning to throw a curveball,
right.
fastball, just what it does, the movement, and it catches all that, which is great for those guys who are about numbers, which is a lot of everything nowadays.
Yeah, yeah,
We were taught, it was weird. It was like growing up, we were taught how to hit locations and speed will come.
right,
Now it's almost like the opposite. They're taught velo, then hit your
right.
spots.
Instant
You know,
gratification, man.
yeah, and it's
Mm,
it's it's great for the game. I think the game changes, the game grows. Uh, I think analytics kind of gets in the way with a lot of stuff,
right.
especially at the young ages.
Hmm.
You know, you still have to go off field.
Yeah,
I think you
absolutely.
looked at Dusty Baker, and he was an old school coach. And
Hmm.
uh, Lord, I could off the top of my head, the Texas Rangers head coach.
Talking about
God
old
dang it,
Washington?
huh?
You talking about George
No,
Watt?
the one that just won the World Series.
Ooh, who was that? Oh, brain fart.
Yes, but he was another old school coach.
Wasn't it Boshi?
Yes,
Boshi, yeah.
yes. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
you have two old school guys that went off field more than analytics.
Yeah.
And when you think about what happened, matter of fact, when brought up his name earlier, Blake Snell when he was with the Rays,
Uh-huh.
when he was absolutely dicing them up in the playoff in the World Series,
Yeah.
and
You're right.
they pulled him due to analytics, and
Yep.
it shows. Just leave him in.
Right.
Like I'll never
Exactly.
forget that because even Mookie Betts
Was
after the
like,
game said,
wow.
"Don't understand why they pulled him."
Nope. Made no
Because
sense.
analytics is they've seen the pitcher now going on the third time that they're going to start picking up on him.
Exactly.
He was, if you watch that game, if you go, God, if people even go back and watch that game, he was changing speeds. He was hitting spots. He had these guys off rhythm.
Right.
And here you go and decide, ah, third time around the order, let's go ahead and take him out.
And that's, it cracks me
They
up
had
that,
like two hits off of him.
right? And analytics, that's what cracks me up about that shit is it can tell, I get, it can tell you all that stuff, science and stuff, but don't, as well as I do, or anybody that knows the game at all or has watched it, played it, loves it, analytics can't tell you what a man's made of and what decisions he's going to make on what he's going to throw
Yeah,
or what he'll do up to bat with a 0-2 count, how many
yeah,
pitches he might fight off, what he might be able to get a piece of the fucking stick on to get something over to score a run, or what pitch he might be able to break off to get that double play ball. That I don't give a shit if the odds are 97% against him.
yeah,
You know, what makes baseball or any sport great is that 3% that is they're going to make it happen. And that is still all talent and mentality, and
Uh-huh.
no analytic will ever ever.
I
I would never, and I don't care if I was
anyway,
wrong 20 times. The 10 times I might be right, if it got me a World Series ring, then I'm taking it every time. That 10 times.
it amazes me how kids even today are not really shown how to shorten up their swings,
Not at all.
choke up on the bat, to
Yep.
fight off pitches, to battle. It's still that grip it and rip it mentality.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's hard with, like, I'll use my son example, is I'm teaching him, okay, you got 2 strikes, choke up, shorten your swing.
Yeah.
They're still learning mechanics, but at the same time, you got to understand, as long as you're putting the bat on the ball,
Right.
something good can happen. You don't know what's
Absolutely.
going to happen. But
Absolutely.
if you're not swinging the bat, or
Right.
you're just standing there and trying to hack at it and looking for one pitch,
Yep.
it you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. You have to, and kids, they have to give themselves a chance, and they can't do that if they're looking for that one, like you're saying, if they look for that one pitch, or they're not taught to shorten up. If nothing else, just put a piece of the barrel on it.
Yeah,
Maybe let that young defense out there that's
yeah,
been maybe stellar all game, but is still 9 years old, 14 years old, however old. Let that decide it. Let the
yeah.
talent decide it. Let the play out. See what happens. You know,
Because
and if
you
you
have
don't,
a
and if it goes right, great. If it doesn't, at least you gave it a chance to happen instead of just walking back in the dugout.
yeah. It's one of those things to me. It's you have, especially at the young ages. You put the ball in play on a young defense. You have a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year old more than likely to panic in a
Absolutely.
situation
Yep. Exactly.
than say someone in the majors, because it's a
Yep.
everyday play that they've made millions
Yep.
and millions of times. You know that's the game of baseball,
Right.
and it's great. I'm always going to love it. Trying to teach him, trying to teach his teammates those those little things that I was taught,
Yep.
and develop these boys to say, okay, I understand that, shorten up the swing and two
Yep.
strikes on me. Let's not, you know, just try to hit the hell out of the ball. And,
Right.
I'd rather you put it in context. Like you said, you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
You hit a hard line drive to the kid at third, and he drops it and he freezes.
Right.
That split second, bases loaded, everybody's moving. He scores, he gets on first. That
Right.
could be a ball game, or hey, tie ball game, extra innings, you don't know what happens.
And it's
So,
and at their
but
age and even older, so many kids. I preach this to Braden's guys a lot, and it was something that all of us went through it. If you were, you know, it was one of those things where I literally would tell them, like, guys, it doesn't matter, you know, no one's going to remember the game, even if you hit an absolute bomb.
uh-huh.
That they'll remember, they might remember and say, hey, remember that time you hit that bomb, but they're not going to remember it when you lost 8-1. But in that game where you put a little piece on something and knocked in the winning run and won 9-8 in a game that mattered, or
Yeah.
you won that game, they're all going to remember that. And they're all going to
I
remember that it
remember
wasn't a bomb. It was you got a little piece of something,
the
and
most thing I
you
will
made it
tell you
happen.
is I remember my very first home run I ever hit over the fence.
Yeah.
I could tell you it went to right center.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you what the score was. Couldn't tell you who was pitching. Couldn't tell
Right.
you who we were playing against.
Right.
But all I could tell you is that was my first home run,
Yeah.
and that's all that mattered to me.
Yeah.
And I don't even think I have the ball anymore. So
Right.
it's
Well, I
so
I look back as I hit a lot of them. I remember my first one because there was a sweet incentive for it. Buddy on my team, his mom came up to me It was in
Uh-huh.
Lathrop, Missouri, and she told me that if I'd hit a home run, she'd get me a thing of nachos, and I was really hungry. So I hit a dinger, and I sure as shit went right out to her. Right after I got smacked
Where
in the
my
head by my
nachos?
teammates. Yeah, exactly. Where the hell's my nachos? And and in high school, I remember one of the toughest, hitting one off the toughest pitcher
Yeah.
that I've ever hit one off of. I
Uh-huh.
remember that feeling because I remember I got you, one of those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
But I also remember we fucking lost and only had
Uh-huh.
2 hits, and that bothers me more.
Yeah.
That because I didn't give a shit about that home run and me getting him. It pissed me off because we lost to somebody in our conference and I
Yeah.
hated it. And then I remember, and it's funny, the farthest one I ever hit, my coaches remember it more than I did. I just remember hitting it off the bat, and it
Uh-huh.
was right center field because I
Yeah.
had more power to right center, and was like, and you hit it and you're like, ooh. And then when the coach, my first base coach was also my neighbor,
Yeah.
Coach Jay, and I remember how giddy he was, and I remember
Yeah.
just going to touch first base and him going, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I
and then
remember, when I think back of as long as I played in the home runs I hit, the only other ones I remember having, my first two home run game,
mhm,
uh, putting one at absolute to a mound on the other field.
yep,
And then, God, for the life of me, it probably was no more than 350 to be honest with you. But
but
to
hey,
me, it
yep,
didn't matter.
yep,
The only other memorable one, as I remember, is hitting one off my high school baseball coach while he was throwing BP, and I took him, you know,
yep,
and then of course he yelled at me because it was a coach, and that's what he felt the need to do.
right,
So,
right. My
uh
I think my favorite one in all high school is, you remember Cody DeWeese.
huh,
So Cody's I want to say, I'm pretty sure Cody was a freshman. Uh, we're inter squadding,
uh huh,
and Cody's feeling good about his curveball.
uh huh,
So he throws me this absolute fucking dog shit turd of a curveball, and I take one for a strike. And at that point, he was too stupid at the time, or he was Cody,
uh
and
huh.
too confident in the time to think he had me. And then he hung me another one, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know how far I could hit a baseball then, but I'm pretty sure I hit it to fucking Guatemala. And of course, of all people, Cody was. And if you can picture Cody as a freshman back then, all
Yeah,
that dog shit he would run, and so of course I let him know about it pretty good. I'll never forget that one just because it was entertaining. But then I think the ones I remember the most are, I mean, even through softball and shit, is all the ones other guys hit,
yeah,
like my teammates or something with it, like, or the guys that you never picture hitting one because
yeah,
they were base hit guys. I remember how hyped I would get when like one of our singles guys or our doubles guys would just hit a tank.
yeah.
I was like, oh, dude,
One of the best home runs I ever saw with my eyes was an old high school teammate of mine named Ellery Jackson. And in Grandview, we played on these fields that are away from the high school at the time.
Mhm.
And down there was a road that went behind, left center, left field. And he got a hold of one. Boom.
Yeah.
As he got a hold of one, cop car went driving by.
Yes.
Man, that was I remember that. I tell you what, that guy was an absolute beast
Yeah.
on the football field
Yeah.
and an absolute beast on the baseball field. And of course, we follow each other through social media, and like seeing his sons playing college football.
Right.
He played off college football. I mean, I'm happy to see my brother, man. That you
Yeah.
see him and his boys succeed, man. And it was awesome because he was a teammate of mine, and he was a year older than I was. But then his brother, who was my age, and we graduated together, was a teammate of mine also, and we got to uh, we coached against one another with both of our boys,
That's awesome.
and so
That's
it
awesome.
was fun to have that competition that you had at one time. We played against each other through high school, then became teammates,
Right.
and then to have our boys play against one another was, man, that
That's
was a
awesome.
fun feeling, man.
Man, isn't
So
it crazy? So when you like you're saying, guys that played with your old teammates, or guys you grew up with, like playing ball and stuff, like or anything,
Uh-huh.
you know, you remember, you know, you tell stories of them to your kids or to your buddies about how good
Yeah.
athletes they were. And we all have stories of people like that,
Yeah.
and it's always funny. So like, you know, in Lawson, we had, you know, with me in my class, I had a kid that graduated with me that's a great man now. His name's TJ Busby. Dude, he
Uh-huh.
was everything he did from when we were like in first grade or second
Yeah.
grade, it didn't matter. Like he was just better than everybody at
Yeah.
everything. And he made it look like completely easy. And it's like, oh man. And then, you know, fast forward to me being a bachelor and couldn't wait to get out of Lawson.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've never, you know, as much as I can bullshit on here with you or anything, you know me, I've never been one to, I'm not real good at small talk when you see me out
Yeah.
places. You know, I'll talk to you if you talk to me, but
Yeah.
I'm absolutely not going to come up to you unless I've had some beers and start a conversation.
Yeah.
And you know, I'd run into him, and he was always cool talking to me. We played some softball, a little league
Yeah.
ball there for a while with
Yeah.
each other. Well, coming back now and being back up here, seeing his kids
Yes.
and how good they are at stuff, and
Yeah.
like you just know, no matter what, they're like just going to be good at stuff. And then you see
Man.
it, and you see them
Yeah.
again, like it takes you right back because you
Yeah.
see it, and you can't help but smirk because you're like,
Yeah.
God damn it, I've seen this before. And it's
Well, that
awesome because you're like, oh my God, man, apple
it,
didn't
you know, it's funny
fall
because
far from the tree there.
you say something like that because in the middle of the game, his buddy, his name is Elliot. So you had his brother Ellery, and he was Elliot. The boy hits an absolute rope, and he ends up with a triple. And I was sitting on the kind of dugout right there, and we get through the inning and all that. And I went up to him. I said, "Hey, I want to tell you something." He kind of looked at me. I said, "I'm gonna tell you right now, your dad would have made it home standing up." He just got a chuckle out of it.
That's awesome.
But man, you know, it's I love that's one thing about social media I love.
Yeah.
You know, I was involved with two great teams in the city. During high school, a lot of the guys still, you know, through social media stay up with that. That team alone itself, a lot of us could have played college ball. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
for those two, a couple of them did. You know, a couple did. You know, for like football or stuff like that. A lot of, but it was all. I mean, had that level of athleticism to play college level ball.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and then one of the toughest teams, 12-year-olds in the city, we were undefeated. Could just like you put us up. We didn't care. We put us up against a bunch of inner city boys
Yeah.
who
Fuck yeah.
just love to play the game.
Right.
And I mean, it's stuff like that, man. It's, you know, I tell my boys, so that's what's great about the game of baseball.
Yeah. You'll
You
remember that shit, man. You'll never forget it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
You'll.
enough of baseball, brother. There's one more sports topic before we kind of get on to Christmas. Have you heard or have you seen anything on Twitter or anything social media wise? This whole black and white Pro Bowl that was brought up by Rashard Mendenhall.
Man, he went all in on that, didn't he? I mean, uh,
But have you seen a lot of the comments afterwards
no,
and people recreating teams?
oh, I heard they fucking made a Madden team,
Yes.
you know, and I'm
So
like, and this sounds horrible. I started thinking about it, like, and, you know, I can't believe he went like that route on it.
yeah,
But I mean, again, though, what do you? But, I mean, my first thought process is, well, he's not wrong.
yeah.
But at the same time, I'm
Well,
like, God
it
damn,
was
man.
it was funny to hear some of how people were breaking it down. Like, and what it came down to was basically the white secondary. It was
Right?
all
You're like,
like okay, we would have you on the offensive line,
right.
but you would get us on the defensive line.
Yeah.
You know, we would
Yeah.
have the edge rushers. The advantage would be us.
Yeah.
You know, then of course it came down to running back, and everybody was all like, "Well, you're not getting,
Oh,
you
hell
know,
no.
Christian
We're fat.
McCaffrey."
Yeah.
You know, and then of course it was the wide receivers,
Right.
and it's been funny. It's been fun to see some of what people are doing with it. It's
I would,
absolutely hilarious.
I sit
What
there,
I
and
can't believe,
I was thinking like receivers, and I'm like, okay, I'm like Cooper Kupp, Steve Largent, like Fred Biletnikoff,
yep.
and then after that, I'm going fuck, because I'm like, and then what? I mean, uh, somebody that played. I would. It sounds horrible. I can't even remember their names. I would have to say like maybe Wes Welker or Edelman, or
Yeah.
one of them little white boys that played with Peyton Manning that all look the
Yeah.
exact same. I don't know none of their names. I don't remember. Like I'm sure if I thought like maybe Brandon Stokely, was that his name?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or like Don Beebe. I don't fucking know somebody like that, but like okay, and then secondary exactly. It's like all right, now pick any single wide receiver from Joe to the list
Oh
goes on for 2.5 hours straight, and I don't have a fucking clue who would cover
yeah.
any of them. I'm
Oh,
like, I can't even, other than John Lynch, I can't think of a safety.
I think I laughed because then it was I saw on TikTok some guy actually put him into a Madden. It, I think kind of simulation game.
Right?
And I think at halftime he had all the white guys on the Dallas team, Cowboys, and
Right?
he had all the black guys on the Raiders team.
Of course he did. Of course.
And then he showed like the halftime score was 48 to Raiders to 31 Cowboys.
Right.
It- you know, I chuckle about it. It's funny. That's sometimes, man, it gets crazy.
It
But I
does,
didn't know
man.
if you've seen that, man.
Yeah,
It's
when I saw it, I'm like, holy shit, here we go with this. And I was like, man, this guy, he's mad. And then I was remembering Rashard Mendenhall because, like, when he did the quote, but then I was thinking how big of a fucking beast that guy was there for about 5 minutes.
yeah,
He was a
yeah.
stud for a minute.
Oh,
But then I just kind of was like, oh, let's not do this. I'm like, please don't do this shit.
yeah.
But speaking of not football, but you and Augie's talk was pretty good. That was pretty good stuff.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that
He,
was
I, I think he was. I think he was pretty informative.
yeah, and
Uh,
it's good. It's
I
good to
didn't
hear.
realize. I knew he coached. I didn't realize he coached girls,
Yes, and it's good to hear
and
that perspective.
it was good to hear that perspective. The game, the girls side of it has absolutely grown. I loved it how he talked about it and how he was very encouraging. Like he
Yeah,
told the girls,
yeah,
like, hey, um, please come out,
yeah,
like bring your friends and like you could tell that he wants that side of the sport grow.
absolutely.
It's like I had to give him a shout out, Jared Simpson.
Yeah, hell
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, his daughter.
Hmm.
It's you know, sh I see pictures of him posting his daughter. She's just getting into it. I think she's 4 or 5.
Oh yeah,
And every picture I see that he posts, she's just smiling from ear to ear.
loving it.
And she is just grinning and having a good old time on the mat.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
it's good to see that. And I say, I see a lot of friends on my Facebook timeline. And, even we talked about it. Said you see a lot of guys and their daughters, a lot of you know girls and their daughters who uh, absolutely are crushing it and doing amazing, or just getting into it and they
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
yeah.
Uh,
Matt Steiniger. You know Matt Steiniger? Do you remember him?
yeah, sort of.
He played lot out at mid am with Bart Green and those guys back in the day.
Okay,
If you
okay.
saw him, you know exactly who he is.
Yeah.
His daughter wrestles. She's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Uh, it's funny you say that, and and I wanted to touch on it if you don't mind. Speaking of, you know, to piggyback off Augie's, over there in the Kansas side, like perfect example is Lawson's girls. So
Uh-huh.
I honest to God think we have more girl wrestlers than we do boys right now.
Nice.
Like are right on that cusp, and I mean, and we've got some little girls that they're tough.
Yeah.
They're tough, and
Yeah.
to watch them wrestle, some of the, you know, just some of the things they're capable of doing that you see that's awesome when they realize they can. So like last year, they had a girl literally pin another girl, and she was in the full splits, like straight in the
Wow.
splits, pinned her.
Wow.
And it was like, show me a man that can do that.
Yeah.
And shit like that, you're like, oh my god. And see, and then that tournament I was at last weekend down in Sedalia, that's a big tournament. It's a lot
Yeah.
of smaller schools, but it's huge. I mean, it's their version, or the 1A schools and 2A schools. It's kind of their the big one was at Lee Summit last weekend
Yeah.
too. That great big
Yeah.
one. It's kind of their version of that. So, little girl from Brookfield named Jaden Keller. She's 110 pounds. She's down there, and I shit you not, I would put her up against all of the 106 boys that I see. Like,
Nice.
I mean, strength wise,
Nice.
they might get her, but this little girl, dude, I mean, I'll tell you what, like, I would hate to be the boy that messes with that little girl because she will whip his ass.
I tell you what, and I'm a big advocate now, especially having a daughter,
Yeah.
is seeing more sports. I guess you'd say like kind of like outlets of sports being given to girls.
Heck yeah.
You
Yeah, they
know,
need it.
even as far as when you think of the advancement that they now, we have Kansas City has a pro volleyball team,
Mm-hmm.
girls volleyball team. I mean, look at the sport of volleyball. I mean, god dang,
Yep.
was it Nebraska?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Filled up their stadium.
Yeah. Legit.
Volleyball.
Yep.
Of course, female basketball has been around for many years, and I know the WNBA kind of gets its,
Yeah.
what it is, but that's giving girls something to look forward to in life.
Heck yeah.
You know,
Heck yeah.
to
Especially
shoot
as
for.
athletes.
Yeah, the athletes to shoot for. You have even on the fast pitch side, used to be just okay. The biggest goal was to get to Oklahoma City in the College World Series.
Now you want to
Now
play for
they
the
have all
Pride.
these other pro leagues
Yep.
that these young ladies can excel in, and
Exactly.
and it's great because I just think it just gives little girls the opportunity to say, I can further my athletic journey in life
Yes. Yes.
further. So,
And
man,
actually, you look at Liberty High School too and stuff like that. Some of those schools,
uh-huh.
they have girls rugby.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. So it's
yeah.
like, go out there and vent, let it out,
I
kick
have
some
I,
ass.
when I was down at UCM, I saw a girls rugby match, and good lord,
Yes.
them them girls don't play around. Them
And I don't.
girls don't play around.
And I think I like the fact that like you're saying, it's good for them to have that avenue, and it's good for them to be able to get in touch with that, be able to let their violent side out a little bit if they want to.
Yeah,
That sounds like
I,
that,
I
but a
no, but I
lot
agree
of
with you
times they
that
want to rough it
because
out, and by God,
I
they
agree with
should
you with
they
that
should
because
get
I
to do
think
it.
what people don't realize is yes, as boys, young men, we're supposed to have that aggression,
Yep.
and we have those outlets. We have football. You
Mm-hmm.
have wrestling. You have, you use it in baseball. Swing the bat, hit the ball.
Exactly.
You can go bang playing basketball. You can do those certain things. Now, people are supposed to think girls are supposed to be, you
Yeah.
know, prissy and all that stuff, but girls have bit, they hold emotions in.
Right.
They have frustrations they need to let out.
Yep.
What better way?
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
I love seeing female sports grow.
Yes. Absolutely.
Especially being a girl dad. She's still young, but if she continues on
Yep.
and thrives in whatever sport she wants to do, that she has an opportunity past college level to go into.
Right.
It's like it's great to see even Serenity, James and Ashley's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely killing it on the basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
Little girl who struggled like I used to laugh seeing James get on her about it. And that, I see watch so like I've cooked the live feeds and watched her play, and God, she's playing up there at Kearney. She's doing running with the JV squad.
Right?
And it's like you see little girls like that thinking, okay, I have aspirations of going to college and whatever could go beyond that. Play pro ball overseas or
Right? Yeah.
NBA, whatever. So it's awesome to see that, man, and
Heck yeah.
it's
Heck
great.
yeah.
It's great for little girls, but man, well, let me I'm gonna tell this boy to get out here. He's dying to come on.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna talk some Christmas stuff.
Let's do it.
He's asked if he can come on. I said, look, we're gonna do a Christmas special.
All right.
And we're gonna talk some of our favorite stuff during Christmas time.
Yes.
I got some stuff pulled up that, of course, we gotta chat about because we're big guys.
Yes. Yeah, we are.
And
With cookies.
Christmas time is about food. So, give me what's your go-to Christmas dessert?
Boy, oh man. You know what? I don't know if I have just a favorite. I'll fuck up a gingerbread house.
Real?
Yeah, like, and then, this sounds crazy. So, my mom used to make spritz cookies.
Yes.
Yeah, those would if I had an absolute favorite thing that's Christmas from when I was a little guy, it's spritz cookies. But honest to God, I'll eat any kind of dessert as long as it's not a damn fruitcake.
Well, ladies and gentlemen of the banter, let me introduce to you. Come on, my sidekick.
Oh yeah, what's up, buddy?
My ace, the pain in my ass. And where everything else, man. Xavier, say hello to everybody out there.
Hello, listeners and viewers of Banter.
Does he know how much he looks like his mama?
I'm sure he does. It looks every bit like his mama.
Got the shoulder shrug. I'm like, oh my God.
But we're sitting here, we're talking desserts, Christmas desserts. You know something about those.
What's your go-to, man?
What is your favorite Christmas dessert?
I'll probably have to say pie, like an apple pie.
Good choice. Solid choice.
Well, which kind of leads me because I pulled up a little thing about the most popular Christmas desserts to make during the holidays.
Okay.
Let's see. Number one was spiced pecan pie bars.
Okay.
Number 2 was peppermint bark. Number 3, fruitcake.
Yeah,
Number 4 was the Redbird cake. Then we got number 5 was vanilla chiffon trifle. And then 6, I'm not even going to, is some fancy kind of dessert.
The hell kind of
Then
Christmas are these people doing?
Favorite, number 7 is peanut butter balls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll get down with that.
Number 8, we have creme brulee.
Oh, creme brulee's pretty goddamn good.
Now, to me, those are some fancy desserts.
Yeah, like that's...
Now, I'm going to give you my top 5. Sugar cookies.
Oh, yeah. I'm down on that.
Cake with ice.
Yeah.
I don't need the sprinkles on.
Yeah, no.
I don't need a hard little reindeer nose ball on there. Number 1 for me is old sugar cookies.
You can't beat that.
Number 2 is the peanut butter ball. God bless her soul. My late stepmother, she used to make absolutely great peanut butter balls that I could just sit there.
Oh yeah, just mow
like crack, man. Just
right.
Number 3, I'm a fudge guy.
Yeah, fudge is good stuff.
Gotta have some fudge.
I'm gonna have to. I'll lead into something with you when you're done with this.
And then let's see, my 4 Man, I kind of go back and forth with that because then I love me a good slice of just banana nut bread.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 5, you can't go wrong with any type of pie.
No.
You give me a good slice of apple pie, give me a slice of meringue pie. They're my top 5.
Okay.
What you got for me?
Well, I had to go number 1. Like I said, those Spritz cookies, just because that's like it'll always remind me of Christmas.
Uh-huh.
That taste is so distinctive, and I remember for years my sister made them for me, my mom made them, my grandma made them, and of course they made them in all the Santa Claus designs and
Yeah.
the snowflakes and the angels and all that stuff. So that would be my number 1. Number 2, now that you were mentioning some of that I got to thinking about, I don't know if you've wrecked any Oreo balls,
Oh, yeah, there we
but
go.
Oreo balls are those are pretty good. Number 3 is a very new to me, happened this week thanks to Ashley. Her work party came
Oh.
with the hot chocolate dip.
Oh.
Oh yeah, so marshmallow fluff, hot chocolate powder or cocoa powder, whatever the hell you want to call it. Some cream cheese, some whipped cream. I don't know, whipped cream. Obviously,
Ooh.
it ain't hot. It's cold, but you eat it on like graham
Uh-huh.
crackers. I ate it on chocolate Teddy Grahams.
Yep.
Yeah, that went right into the mix.
Yep.
4 would be Snickerdoodles.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
Huge,
forgot about noodles.
huge fan of Snickerdoodles.
Oh yeah.
And then, your 5 is pie. I like a little pie, but I'm straight up. You give me any kind of velvet, any kind of cake, whether it
Yes.
be, I don't give a
Yes.
damn what color it is. Put Santa
Yes.
Claus on that damn thing. I'm gonna eat it, and
Yes.
I'm good about it. Like,
Yep.
and then honorable mention's got to be fudge. So
Yeah.
I love me some fudge. It's funny, the kids' dads, their nana and papa on their dad's side.
Uh-huh.
Their nana makes fudge, and all
Oh.
the kids always bring it home, and I always steal it. Like low
Yeah.
key, every chance I get them, like they're like, "Where's the fudge?" I'm like, "Mind your business." But she makes pretty good peanut butter. It's like peanut butter chocolate fudge, and it's good.
Yeah.
And
My honorable mention would be a good little you say Rice Krispie treat with a little what I like it differently now that they're making it with the Fruity Pebbles.
man, they're starting to get like too much, and I love it. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
the cinnamon toast crunch ones,
Oh.
man. Mm. You
Well,
kids,
now
you
it's
kids
on.
got it
Tell it.
made, man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to go along with him. Just any type of cookie, actually.
Yep.
Hell yes.
For breakfast, we eat cookies. It's
Yep.
just a tradition we do.
Nothing wrong with that.
Number 2, pie. I would really like apple pie around
Apple pie is
this
so good.
time of year.
Do you eat apple pie with ice cream?
I actually haven't tried that.
Oh, give that a shot.
See, I'm not a big ice cream with my pie guy.
Only apple pie.
Yeah.
I don't like vanilla ice cream very much, but something about when you get apple pie, the apple pie filling with vanilla, and you
Yeah.
kind of make apple ice cream,
Yep.
doesn't work.
Now what you got? What else you got? Number 3.
What was it that Mom made? Like a few weeks ago.
Oh, Christmas. What's it called? Like Christmas crack. When they when they put the crackers and the chocolate and the
Yes.
yes
Butterscotch, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to choose, but I'd have to say like cake.
Yeah. Well,
You can't go wrong with cake around this time of year either.
Hell no.
Top 5 or my number 5 would have to be brownies.
Oh, dude, my man. Brookies. Have you had a brookie?
No.
it's
You ever had a brookie?
a cookie and a brownie.
Oh yeah, I have had one of those.
Hell
yeah.
yes. Yeah.
And it's funny that you say that because I guess one I totally forgot, and it's very rare, but you find them, is a lemon bar.
Had one at work yesterday.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
Love me a lemon.
Yeah, wonderful. Another one totally wasn't even thinking about. No bake cookies are pretty all right.
Yeah. Man, we're gonna sit here and they're
Right.
making cookies tomorrow,
Mom's pre-cooking them today.
and
Oh,
we're
yeah.
just going. Good Lord.
You know, you want to know something that it totally made me think of this time of year, and it makes me think of it every time this time of year. And I already knew about it, but I had never tried it until you, like, how good they could be when they weren't made at a restaurant. I don't know if you remember where I'm going with this.
Tamales.
Yes, sir.
Tamales.
Man,
Yes,
I
sir.
will never, ever forget when you brought me tamales at work.
Yeah.
Those things were so good. I remember I was going to take my mom some. And you remember, then you actually hooked me up with some. Because the ones I was going to take my mom, I ate them all.
Oh.
Because I remember you gave me some more. Because I'm like, Mom, you got to try these damn things. And I was like, oh. And then she's like, well, where are my tamales? I'm like, well, the funny thing about that is, it's like I ate them all. Because I remember I got some more from you. She was like, oh my. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, those were so good.
Well, I love this time of year. With the kids.
Yeah.
You know, as I was a single and a bachelor and all that other stuff, and young, I didn't care for more teenage years.
Yeah.
Just to the family lifestyle that was going on, I didn't care for
Right.
Christmas, but I love spending it, seeing the kids Christmas morning, open the gifts, and seeing Christmas Eve with my mom and that side of the family,
Right.
and all that stuff, and the traditions that we're passing down. I know one of my we talked about desserts, Christmas movies.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Christmas movies, like, are TV shows. Like,
Yep.
I'm an old traditionalist. I love number one for me is Charlie Brown's Christmas.
Old Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown. And two would be the old Rudolph, the old Rudolph. You know,
Yep.
like the
Yep.
claymation.
The cartoon. Yep.
Yeah. One. Christmas movie wise,
You'd have to say Santa Claus is coming to town.
Polar Express.
Polar Express.
I like Polar Express.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I've seen it. I'm not a big follower of it, even though I've seen it a couple times. It's National Lampoons.
Oh.
I get a lot of slack for that one. Now, if you consider this a Christmas movie, Friday After Next.
All right. Yeah.
And to me, that's a Christmas one.
I mean, fair.
And then The Christmas Story.
Yep.
That,
like, shoot somebody's eye out.
Up, the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and that's running all day on TBS.
Yep.
Those are my tops.
Yeah. That's not a bad list.
What you got?
Shows I don't really have any, believe it or not. I don't really, because you remember, like, I've always been kind of a Grinch-ish. Always. You know, I like it for the kids now. I love seeing them enjoy their stuff with it, and I'll get in the mood-ish, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm like, all right, is it baseball season yet?
Yeah.
But
you're right.
As far as Christmas movies go, I'm all over the place because some may not consider some of these Christmas movies. I, however, do. So, one of my first ones, obviously, is definitely a Christmas movie, but Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Oh, yes.
I absolutely, I love it. I love it. Prancer with Sam Elliott.
I recently watched that at school, too.
I love it, man. It's when I was a little guy. Gremlins. A lot of people wouldn't think Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Gremlins is, love me some Gizmos, my dude.
Yeah.
I like Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
I don't know how many times I've yelled woman coddle this baby around this house lately because the girls went and saw a live nativity scene the other night. So I literally had to ask them if they said woman coddle this baby for Christmases. Of course, they looked at me like I was stupid, so it was that much more enjoyable to me. Man, what other Christmas movies? And I believe it or not, I actually like the Tim Allen Santa Claus movies.
I the first one I liked.
That's
and
the
after
one.
that, I'm not a big, huge Tim Allen guy.
Right. And
Like
then
I liked him in some of his earlier stuff, and then like I liked the first one, and after that, it's kind of gotten a little. You can only do so
Right.
much with Christmas movies, man.
right,
It's
and that's what makes it tough. So I do like National Lampoon's Christmas. Shitter's full Clark.
yeah.
Can't beat that part. And then what's that other one? I just watched not very long. Well, I guess if you consider A Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie,
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. And then, of course, then I will argue with anybody that you have Die Hard and the original first Lethal Weapon.
Okay.
Arguably, could both be
Which
Christmas
leads
movies.
me to this one question: if you consider Die Hard a Christmas movie,
hmm
and you lump in that Lethal Weapon, would you consider Four Brothers?
Thanksgiving / Christmas movie.
Yep.
I feel like any movie that is in the wintertime that has any
Around the
Thanksgiving or
holiday.
Christmas holiday in it should be considered. I don't give a shit if Santa Claus is in it or not.
Yeah. Okay.
If it
What
makes
is
you feel good and you want to watch it at Christmas time, by God, it's
I
a
think
Christmas movie.
I think I can name 5 at least.
Let's
Yeah,
hear them.
we're gonna
I'm
do
ready.
kids point of view now.
All right, number 1 would have to be Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the old claymation.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Rudolph, like he said.
Hell yes.
3, Elf.
Another one.
What's funny? I have not seen it.
Really?
Yeah, my wife is all over me. Told me that that I have to watch it this year because I have never seen Elf.
If you like Will Ferrell and his,
Pretty big fan.
how would you say, like his dorkiest dork?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of those to me. I watched it one time.
Yeah.
And then it gets kind of annoying afterwards. But yeah, let's see what else you got.
What was I at? 3?
3.
So 4, maybe Prancer.
Yeah, there you go. It's a good one.
And 5, you can't go wrong with Polar Express.
Yeah.
No, Polar Express is a good movie.
No, that's the whole Tom Hanks thing kind of gets me, man. It's just, that's just an awesome movie.
You know what?
Period.
You know another one that's sneaky good.
What's
a
that?
lot of people forget about it. Have you seen The Family Man with Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I actually like that movie.
Yeah.
At Christmas time, it's a holiday movie. I like that movie.
I think, like you said, just because it doesn't have Santa in it.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you really want to go back and think, you have top of my head with Eddie Murphy. God, Lord, and hold on, I'm gonna find this thing.
Are you talking about like just Eddie Murphy movies?
Eddie Murphy movie.
You ain't gonna say Golden Child, are you?
No.
Okay, I was getting ready to say, give me the knife, please.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me find, and when I say it, you're gonna think Christmas if you've seen it. Let's see here. Where is it at? I know he's got a new one out. Trading Places.
Oh yeah.
Him and Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, and Jamie Lee.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah. But at Christmas time.
Right? Yeah.
And actually had Dan Aykroyd dressed up as Santa.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
absolutely around Christmas time.
Right.
I enjoy that one. But
man, I always think it too. So my family isn't very big. I don't have a big family. So for every year, like to me too, like we're talking about just movies in general. Like so every Christmas Day, a lot of people we did Christmas Eve with my family mostly on Christmas Eve. Like we did Christmas, we celebrated then. So Christmas Day, for the longest time, we would go see a movie. And obviously now that's now fast forwarded to now, and with my mom and I, that's turned into we go to the casino.
Yeah.
But
and we got older, we did that too.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. But
We have, of course, uh, biggest thing, especially like when I think of the high school years and 20s, that you would do. Our biggest things we always had Christmas Eve on my mom's side,
yep,
and then Christmas Day was kind of spent with my dad's side. But then as
yeah,
I got older, got pushed back. But then it was like that evening, the new movies were out,
yeah, exactly. And
so
that's
you went
exactly
to
where
the
I was going with
movies.
that.
And as I got older and hit over that age, then it would go to casinos for a little
Yep.
bit.
I see. I
But
remember over the years some of the Christmas movies when they came out. Like I remember King Kong. I
yeah,
remember Lord of the Rings.
yes,
All those movies like that, like just the big time movies that would come out. I remember that one year I think Gangs of New York came out on Christmas.
yep,
Just over the years seeing all that stuff and just being hyped to get to the movies and
yeah.
see that, and just smash some popcorn and then eat wherever you could find that was open.
Well, it's funny that you say about popcorn, and I forgot about throwing this in there. You can't be in Kansas City during
Oh,
Christmas
Topsy.
time and not have some Topsy's popcorn.
Oh yeah.
That used to be a staple.
Oh.
Those were actually handed out as the Big Tens were handed out as Christmas gifts.
Yep. Oh yeah.
You know, and when in high school, I dated a girl who her part-time job was via Topsy's, and I'd get the little hookup with a little bit of Christmas tin
Oh
and get
yeah.
me a free limeade while I was in there.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
oh
yeah.
yeah, but
I hammer some cheddar Topsy's popcorn.
well, before we go, man, what was one gift that you remember?
Wow. It's fun. A guy asked me at work about this. So a couple stand out to me. So when I was a little guy, you'll laugh at this one. So I remember I got a bouncing He-Man battle cat that I could ride and just bouncing on it and
Hmm.
just and a blow up He-Man sword and
Uh huh.
shield. And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that I had the power for I don't know how long, but I'll never forget that. I'll never forget a 1989 score Barry Sanders rookie
Yeah.
waking up and seeing it sitting in the tree.
Uh huh.
And some 99. I remember when Top Stadium Club baseball cards and football
Yep.
cards came out in '91. I
Yep.
remember a couple boxes of those being under the tree that I found Santa hooked me up with.
Uh,
Probably the best present ever. You and me talked about it last time I was on. When my mom, well, it's Thanksgiving going into Christmas. When my mom sent me and my brother to Detroit for,
yeah.
that can't be. That's I don't know if any present can
Oh
beat
yeah.
that.
That's a gift that.
And
Yeah.
now that I've got older, it sounds crazy and not sound like a sap, but every Christmas I get where everybody's still alive. You know, as long as
Uh,
everybody's healthy and I get to see
yeah.
them. Yeah. So I mean, not to get sappy, but that's the big one now. So every year
Yeah.
that I do that, it doesn't matter about none of that other stuff. Like I
My
can't.
my
That's by
biggest
far it.
as a kid was I was a huge Star Wars guy,
Yeah.
and of course, yeah, he'll tell you, I can test.
Hey.
I'm a Star Wars geek. Uh, the old Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Got one of those. And then on top of that, I don't know. In Empire Strikes Back,
Hmm.
when they're in the snow, the frozen, the tundra, and there
I
was
know.
actually a tundra thing that I got that had the little cannon to shoot
Yeah.
and
I
all
know
that
exactly what
stuff.
you're talking
I had those.
about.
Of
Yeah.
course, on top of that, you had uh
I.
since I am the father.
That's
It has
great.
me and my sister's name.
That was
I love it.
I don't know if that wasn't Christmas, that was a birthday gift,
Yeah, this was a birthday gift.
but and then let's see, as I got older, it was more becoming collectibles.
Hmm.
You get collectible type items and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah. Yep.
Well, when we talked about middle school, first starter coat was a Christmas gift.
Ooh. Hmm. Hmm.
Well, the starter coat, the starter hat to go with it.
Oh yeah.
you know, and
You
then
didn't have
of
that
course
pullover.
now, and like you said, not to be sappy, but
Yeah.
it's the best gift is to see these kids enjoy Christmas,
Right.
spend another year with my mom and things like that, and seeing the kids grow up and stuff like that. That's always fun, even though
Right.
pain in the ass number one.
I do have a question for everybody
Go
here.
ahead.
Before we go, what is one Christmas themed movie, in your opinion, that you would love to see?
Love to see how.
Like you would really like to see it, or like just watch this movie that you haven't seen before. That's Christmas.
Oh, that haven't seen Christmas movie we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
Elf's gonna be mine, just because I've never seen it. So of course I want to see it. So
yeah.
that's definitely gonna be mine this year. That even if I didn't want to see it, I don't think I'm gonna get a choice because I think my wife's gonna kick my butt if I don't see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I tell you what, the one that I have not seen the newer Grinch,
You haven't?
It's
and
pretty.
I've heard that it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, you
Dude.
need to see.
It's when he does.
Yeah.
It's
So,
awesome.
but I know. I mean, he's still got gifts coming, and what has been your favorite gift so far today?
Like recently, like within
The,
5 years from now,
the last couple years.
I would probably have to say shoes. Like
Yeah.
last year, you got me Air Forces.
Yeah, he got some Air Forces. So, what is the one gift that you're looking forward to, hoping you see on the tree this year?
Jordan 13 Retro Blacks.
There it is. He just rolled off the tongue.
Just
that's
came
it.
off real easy.
Bam.
Man, I tell you what. Well, Hobbs, man, Merry Christmas to you and the family, brother.
You too, man.
Let's do it. Well, screw it while we're here. Let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's make you a co-host.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We'll start off the new year with a bang.
There you go.
We could do a New Year's Eve edition of we top 10 things that happened throughout the year.
Done.
Sports storylines, whatever. Let's see. Hopefully, let's see what we got. I know we got, of course, Sunday.
Yep.
We got some football going on.
For sure.
We got Chiefs play Monday night or Monday afternoon.
Yes,
Not
sir.
Monday night.
And you have basketball starting
And
Monday.
Basketball starts.
NBA from, I can sit on my couch and watch NBA all day.
Well, and this year with Christmas too, we got some big football that we'll be able to talk about with that. You got Chiefs Raiders is now matters. And, then you got 49ers Ravens, which really matters for everybody involved in all of it. So
it ought to be fun, man.
We'll be able to chop it, whatever you want to chop it up about. If you want me to co-host with y'all, I'll happily. We'll hit two sides of everything with it.
Let's
talk
do
about
it,
whatever
man.
you want.
From here on out, man. Make it official. Christmas special edition is going to be the Banter, hosted by Dave and Hobbs from here on out. And man, it's going to be fun, man. I think with everything that goes on in the sports world, from youth sports to pro sports, we both have opinions.
Oh yeah,
and man, we could turn this into something, man.
Let's do it. I'm all for it.
Well, from everybody here, man, wish you Merry Christmas, and man, you too, brother. We'll talk soon.
All right, later, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, man.
Merry